In 1988, George Lucas and Ron Howard introduced us to a world that we thought was over. And in 2022, the series on Disney Plus, Willow, told us to be careful what you wish for. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, we're going to find out.
If you want to learn how to save money in gas, groceries, restaurants, check the description below. It's not a sponsor. We don't get any kickback from it. It's just our saying thanks for our viewers of watching and listening. Also, check the description below on how you can save a life or two. Spoilers. Willow, this series, is currently streaming on Disney Plus. It started in 2022 at the end of the year, and it has concluded in January of 2023. Was that true? Is that true?
Well, no, that's a fact. It did conclude in January 2023.
Okay. I don't know, because I just watched it back to back. I was so busy due to the holidays and our other reviews and things like that. So
Yeah.
I was able to watch.
Well, you binged it. You didn't watch it
Kind of,
week to week.
sort of.
Yeah.
Because, well, before I say, on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics' review has it at 86%. The audience review has it at 60%. On IMDb, there's a critics review as well, and I believe that's 5.5 out of 10. That's over 22,000 reviews on that. Please give me your initial thoughts or overall feel for it.
One thing is, if you're coming off of freshly watching the movie Willow, you're going to have, at least at the beginning, a very bitter taste. If you haven't watched the movie Willow and you're not going to rewatch the movie Willow, and it's been like a long time, this will probably be a little bit better and more palatable, because then you don't remember the movie as much. Because it is not the same pacing, nor is it the same feel of the movie. I feel like they took the movie Willow and then they sat down and watched MTV, and I said this to a friend. He's like, and they mixed in like a little bit of Teen Wolf, not like the actual werewolves, but like the vibe that they were doing with some of the things that, because they focus on the teenagers.
For me, I have never seen Teen Wolf, the series on MTV. I saw the movie with Michael J. Fox and then Bateman with part 2. So I don't know how Teen Wolf, the series, was. I know I think they're coming out with a movie.
They are on Paramount.
Or a reunion thing. So anyway, but go ahead.
To keep it true to Willow, they just dump on Willow all the time. And it does have very good fantasy aspect. There's certain aspects of it that I thought were phenomenal. But then all of a sudden, like, it focuses on the teenagers, and there's like a love triangle thing going on, and there's like a dynamic that takes away from the fantasy feel. So when it's serious, it's serious. It's not, it's not. And last but not least, is the music jumps from one style to another. I had to grow into it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can see what you mean. I'm going to go off with the good stuff.
But yeah, we got to break this down a little bit.
There's 8 episodes. There's season 1. Or yes, season 1. There's going to be a season 2,
possibly a 3.
Yes, because at the end, because we see at the end, there's 3 volumes. Right. The music was awesome. I thought it was great. It was almost as if James Gunn was directing these episodes.
Yeah,
but it didn't feel right. It didn't fit the timeline. It didn't fit the story, in my opinion. So it was like cool, but why?
I agree with that. I mean, I got used to it after a while.
Yeah, but still, it made no sense to me. And once I'm like, yeah, it's like it did feel like a music video. They're doing like, here we go. Here's a music video we could put in and have it like this and this kind of theme to tell the story of the music that is being played.
Granted, they only leave it for the end credits, which at least I appreciate.
Not really, because remember when the reunion of the sisters in the forest.
Sisters in the forest.
The girl, the leader of the band, of the tribe, the one with the skull mask. Her father was from the last one. They're dancing, and there's a popular song remixed, but they're dancing to it. I'm like, but why?
Oh, I blacked that out.
I don't blame you.
Was that the only moment that they actually had that?
They probably did some other, but that one that stood out for me the most because they're dancing as if they are listening to the music. Like the music is very low volume, and they're dancing to it. There's like slow grinding, and
Oh, that might have been why, because like there was some moments I was watching. To be fair, I was watching some of the episodes without the volume up, sneaking
right,
the episodes with subtitles in and watching it.
right, okay,
So that might have been a
right.
moment that I missed.
It made no sense to me, especially since, like you said before, in the original film,
It's
we didn't
nothing like that.
have that at all. It was just like music from James Turner, I think it is name, or James Horner. I'm sorry for incorrect. What else did I like? I
What about
liked
the
that they did.
fights?
I hated them because the fights were like a lot of them were dark. You couldn't see, so you couldn't appreciate it. It was like, what's going on? You have like some fights, like maybe in the beginning, and like it's okay overall, not overall, but some were good, but overall, very bad,
Gotcha.
very bad. Also, there's some music in the beginning they're playing when they're running away from the monsters, from the horde, or whatever you want to call them. Like in
Mm,
episode, I think 3 or 4, whatever, they're running away. There's like
yeah,
playing, they're
there was some
playing
music
music.
there. Hmm.
But anyway,
By that time, I was
uh,
already used to it.
but see, to me, I was like, so the fights I couldn't really appreciate like I would have loved. You know, like they did in the original film, you could see the fights, you could see the movements, you can appreciate it. There's no, the cameras are back, so you can really appreciate the movements. What I would say I did like, they did a lot of callbacks to the original, which was very appreciated.
Yes,
I
and then
did
it
like that.
literally like got some of the actors, some
Some
of
of
the
the actors, or just like some nods to the
yeah.
original. And you had Christian Slater make an appearance, which was awesome,
I did like
but
that.
also disappointing.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Just for one episode, really? One episode?
well, your rule of thumb: if you don't see him die on screen, doesn't mean he's necessarily dead.
True. Okay, I'll give you that. Fair enough. But just to me, I was just like, oh, that's all we're going to see of him. Now, granted, there's supposed to be, like you said, 2 more seasons. So maybe there'll be more of him.
Mhm.
He survived somehow.
Did you think they improved on Willow in any way?
The character or the
The
special effects?
franchise, like special effects.
Well, of course, they're going to have the special effects. The special effects were a lot better. Granted, the final scene,
There was pros and cons to the final battle.
but with her and the worm or whoever
The
the
groan.
lady, the crone. But to me, with the horns, it reminded me of the queen, the evil queen from the first one. And
Morta.
yes, her. I thought that was her because remember on our review of Willow, I told you we didn't see her die. She just got taken in, and
Yes.
that looked like that was her essence. And yeah, and granted, her voice was used.
No, what they did is I think they took
Oh no,
clips,
they did
audio
they took
clips.
clips, right,
Yeah.
correct. And they did that with also Val Kilmer, who was playing Mad Marg.
No, that was his voice used.
No,
Really?
Mad Mardigan. No, his son. His son sounds like him. So his son portrayed the part.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. His son did that before. His son was also used in Top Gun Maverick. They did a mosh up for Val Kilmer's voice.
Oh wow. Did not realize that.
Because you can see, you can hear the voice. It's like, it sounds like him, but kind of off. It's a little bit.
I thought that was just
So,
time.
well, I mean, I'm not going to say completely no, because there's probably some other where they took it from the original film and they used it in here.
Yeah.
Like when I text you, when I saw the first episode, I was like,
That night you texted me twice. You said
yes,
off to a bad start. You were not
yes.
like happy. And then
Well,
at the end of it, you're like, okay, some promise.
some. But what got me was they have here Flash Thompson from Spider-Man and Homegirl from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
True.
So they're just like recycling and
Mhm.
whatever. And she's also in Star Wars. She's in
She's been in a lot
Solo.
of franchises.
No, but I know, but she was in Solo.
Yeah.
She was part of the beginning of the Rebel Alliance from like the outskirts.
Mhm.
Yeah, Erin Kellerman is the
Mhm.
girl that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier and all that stuff. But anyway, I mean, I'm sorry. They're on a mission to save the brother, but they're taking forever to save their brother. I mean, they wait to the last episode.
True. I mean, some of the
And
things did tie in to slow them down, but yeah, there were other parts that just
wasn't
slowed them.
but was it really needed that they have to meet these other people? Now I understand Jade's Claymore. I understand her position in a sense, like where she's traveling and she meets her sister that she didn't know she had.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. But everything else was like, I mean, for 8 episodes, this felt like 40. It felt dragging on, dragging on, dragging on. Even Kim was like, "Oh my god, how much time we have left?" And nah, check is like, "We have 20 minutes." She's like, "Holy crap!" I'm like, "I know."
I mean, the episodes were almost an hour long for a good portion.
Yeah, no, in the 40s, like 40 to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
But the thing is each episode didn't really push the story along. It was just dragging. It's like, okay, she's in love with her, he's in love with her, she's in love with him, and they're like taking moments to
Well, that's
talk about their feelings,
that was the
and
teen
then
aspect I was talking about.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about they're in dire need to like they went out there to save the brother,
Yeah.
but they're like more focused on their feelings or worry about getting hurt, their emotions or feelings hurt, like
Well,
other direction than what they're focused on. You know, like in
yeah.
acting,
Like, well, case in point, like in the troll cave. I keep forgetting his name, but I want to call him Flash. Is talking to Allura, and she's like, "Huh?
great on.
Great,
It's
great
like
on."
Grace. It's like
Yeah.
Grayson, like
Yeah.
Dick Grayson, but great on.
Great on's talking to Laura, and Laura's like, "Is this really the time and place that we should be talking?" And they pan over to them actually talking about their feelings and stuff like that.
It
Well,
made no
everybody
sense.
else
Like
is fighting in the background.
there was too much of that.
Yeah.
There was too much of it. And then like on the last episode in the beginning where they meet the brother,
Mhm.
and so they'll take turns. Like Kit will talk to him and then turn around, and then Elora will talk to him. Like they'll just spin around.
Yeah. There's
Now,
no
of
real
course, I
action
know,
to there. They're just
but it's just
acting like,
annoying. It's like stupid. It's like really, guys. It's like I understand because there's the monsters or the
even his
what's this?
character, the prince, was like, "Hey, why are you guys just turning back and back?" Like he's like, "They're not gonna do nothing. Just eyes here."
But in Kit's character, like annoying brat, they don't really show in a sense to me that, oh, now I trust in you, because she was like hating Alora because Alora's getting all the attention. Of course, I understand that, but there was like, I trust you. I was like, what happened? What really happened that made you believe that she's the one, to believe that she is the savior? I didn't see it. If they did, I was totally like,
No, I saw what made her believe, but that was
what was
overshadowed
that?
by jealousy.
Well, yeah, I know, but still, it was like annoying jealousy. Like, get over yourself.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But what made her believe was the bush. When she saw the bush grow, and she goes, "Ah, damn it."
No, but the thing is, she still was acting like a jerk.
Oh yeah.
Several episodes later,
Well,
she saw
and
the
that was what
bush.
I was talking about, the jealousy. Like
But
she's
still,
like the focus. She's like, "I'm no longer the would-be hero. I'm no longer this," and da da da. I'm like, she's stuck in her ego.
true, but it was just. I mean, I'm sorry. This is like if George Lucas wrote this,
I think
even though
that's like they try to keep it that way.
but no. But the thing is, he didn't write the original. Right, the story is by him, but he didn't write it.
Yeah.
This story is, this is a world that he created, but he didn't write any of these episodes, and it's just lame. It's like, it's to me the way they produced this, the way they went about it is like the prequels of Star Wars. I'm sorry, I always go back to Star Wars because Star Wars
It's your
is
bread and
no,
butter.
but no, but is a great example of what good writing, good editing, good acting, and then when you're met with yes people that don't challenge you, that let you do whatever you want, that that's like you're good. That's the prequel.
Yeah.
And then you have people who try to change it and try to give something different, a flavor, but they miss the mark. That's the sequels. That's
I can
why
agree with that.
And here this feels like a prequel, even though it's not, in a way how sloppy it is. You have jokes by Brom or Brom or Borman, excuse me, Borman.
I did like
I
Borman
mean,
though.
yeah, but he was like silly. It was like
He's comic relief.
but it was not needed all the time. It was like sometimes it was forced. I mean, granted, I did like his last one when after he's fighting, he fought all those demons in the cave, and he says, "I need my mommy."
It's like
Right?
he had some of his best lines on that last episode. He's like, camouflage. He puts the dirt on his face.
Right, but then he talks about a menage a trois, a threesome.
No, he said, if any of you two want to make out, I'd be down.
Right. He wants to be involved. That's a menage a trois. Hello.
And then like when he closes the doors to fight the world of demons, he goes, "Okay, boys, who brought the butter?"
No, he did have some, but it was just like a lot of the times it felt forced.
Fair. man.
Like they're trying to get us to chuckle, laugh, and stuff like that. Sometimes they succeeded, and a lot of times they failed.
Well, I agree with you. There was definitely where they could have trimmed it.
Oh,
Like
definitely trimmed
the
it.
axe women, that were killed in episode 2 or 3. I didn't see a purpose for them. Like quote that. They had a lot of parts that were just fillers.
Exactly, and not needed. I
Mhm.
mean, it could have been 4 episodes, 6 episodes,
Or shorter episodes.
possibly. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And I honestly, of the characters that we saw, I was not a big fan of Kit.
no.
Maybe I grew to like what was happening to her, but not her as a character. When she was starting to get that the second to last episode, she opens the door and a throwing star gets stuck in her arm.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then like they're like, I'm gonna show you a trick that works every time. And she slaps Kit and then pulls it out. And my first thought went to Major Payne. I was like,
Right.
all right, I'm just happy with what's happening to her.
You want to talk about stuff like that in a sense of what they did and remind you of another movie or possible franchise is that final scene. Elora and the worm or whoever the avatar of the
crone.
worm, the crone, excuse me, where they're fighting. I could not help but think of Egg Chang and
Yo, that's a good call out. There was a moment in that final scene that I was actually
Egg
thinking
Chang.
of.
What's his name again? What's his name? Lopan.
Lopan.
Excuse me. Lopan and Egg Chang. That the color sequence and all that stuff, I just felt like, oh my God,
Which
that's
is
a callback
actually,
to that.
that's a great callback.
Not that they did it or not or true, but that's
But
what it
it
looked like
felt
to
like
me.
it.
And they did, they did have a callback to Star Wars.
Oh, like hearing their voices and stuff like that.
No, well, not just that. When Eric is, which is also a callback to the original film, which is great. I thought that was like awesome. That's nice, a nice touch. But when he's asking Alora in that dream sequence, can you shoot lightning bolts out of your fingertips?
Oh yeah, he did.
As a callback to Palpatine
Mm-hmm.
and Count Dooku, the Sith. But I did like the fact, yes, another callback to the original with him being Eric, naming after Eric from the original film that was Mad Mardigan's close friend.
True.
Also to that is when Kit puts on the body armor and she has 2 swords, but one of them is similar to Eric's weapon that her father used to fight the Claymore.
Yeah.
The guy with the skull. He had 2 swords. And
he had the one that blade that came from the gauntlet.
Right. That was Eric's weapon.
Yeah.
Again, to me, what was enjoyable about the series overall was the callbacks that they did to the original. They had the brownies. You have Kevin Pollak playing replaying his role, which was awesome. And then Willow, when we discussed this on the original review or a review of the original film, we pointed out that Willow didn't do anything. Like he didn't kill the queen, he didn't destroy her. It was just accidents that made him look. And then legend of him was born there. The only thing he was able to do was trick her, making Elora disappear. The pig trick, if you will.
Yeah.
The pig in a blanket trick.
Which they referenced.
Yeah, they did. But like you would tell, I mean, honestly, after 20 some years, you don't know anything. Like really, like he has some powers in the sense of telepathy, talking to other people's minds. But his magic, he was very limited. Like and every time he used it, any bit, he was drained. He was Groku. He would get exhausted.
I mean, they did mention that he's like, I'm saving my power, and and I'm losing it. He said something along those 2 lines at one point.
Did admit that he's a fake, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
He just rolled on the legend story. But I would just like to have seen Willow become the sorcerer that he wanted to be, because at the end of Willow, he gets a book. He was able to show a trick, creating a
bird,
a bird out of a rock or something in the end of the movie. So you mean to tell me after 20 years, he's very basic still? I mean, and especially if he has a book to study.
He did cast out the demon and teach Elora how to fight and whatnot.
But he didn't. His cane with the gem did.
Yeah, I was wondering what's the purpose of the gem. So like, I understand the wand was like conduit for the power. But was the gem like another conduit for power, or was it another was it like a battery source for him? That wasn't really explained entirely.
Remember, it saved the prince. It was able to cast out the worm or the the evil. I will call it the worm or the whatever the life essence of the worm that was in him,
Yeah.
or the harbinger, and then it lessened the cane, the purpose of the cane, because Graydon's his pipe became a conduit. So it was whatever you could be anything. It could be a rock, it could be a leash, a rope, it could be so
Yeah,
like
as long
the
as it had
purpose,
like great importance to them or something like that.
right? But
Hmm.
to me, I was like, oh, then why make something so important when it's not? If it could be anything. And then she's like, Alora, her fight scene with the witch or whatever that the thing at the final, she acts tough. Then she's like, then she acts tough, and she's like, I didn't believe Alora had the power. I didn't believe that she was the one. It didn't dawn onto me
Yeah.
because she would do the strikes, whatever it was. She was doing those Dragon Ball Z's or Street Fighter moves, but she'll be blocking her face at the
I
same time.
I was telling one of my friends, I'm like, it looks like she got choreography from Scarlet Witch out of the blue.
Correct, but Scarlet Witch had better powers because Scarlet Witch will do something like this, and oh yeah, then she does a move when she's like about to face the witch,
Oh, the
and
spin?
that was after. I'm talking before that.
Oh, the Enchantress move.
What she's doing is like she angles her body like she's like generating or conjuring up some
Yeah,
kind
I
of
call that the Enchantress because remember Suicide Squad?
enchantress.
The
Yes,
Enchantress is
yes,
like this.
yes.
I was like, is she doing the
She's doing.
Enchantress?
I was like, I'm like, where, like, who came up with these moves? I'm sorry, this is a complete, in my opinion, mess. This has become a waste of time for me. I
Yeah.
am with the 5.5 on the IMDb critic review, and I'm also at the 60 with the Rotten Tomato audience review. I don't know what these critics on Rotten Tomatoes saw in this. It had potential, and it just freaking missed what it could have been. Because I mean, even though it's called Willow, it
It's
should have
not
been
Willow.
called no, not at all. The movie Willow was about Willow
Yeah.
with side characters of the princess and Elora and Mad Mardigan and Eric and what have you. It's like him, like how his legend became be. But here, it should have been called Elora,
Well,
or it
and
could have been something else, or the worm. And then we watch it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's Willow. That's okay. So it's like a
yeah.
whole different thing. I was just hoping like there'll be more of him becoming a badass, and he wasn't.
And that was the thing. Even if he wasn't a badass, and this was called out by one of my friends that watched it, because my friend that watched it, never saw Willow until like a couple of years ago. I introduced her to her.
Mhm.
So she watched the show, and she would text me, and she goes, "Why are they shitting on Willow so much?" He gets introduced as a great sorcerer, and the very first thing they do is just bring him down, and they like it's like every episode bring him down and whatever. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, this is a show about him. Like, how does he get? Why is he dog crap? I'm like, she's
Well, the
like,
thing is
that was
like,
one of her frustrations.
no, of course, but then here, and that's my part of mine, in a way that if you have a book of magic and spells and all that stuff, you should be like, and he was supposed to be studying them, but he's not. And I understand that the more you use something, weaker it can drain you. But if you keep practicing, your tolerance, just like lifting, just like working out,
Mhm.
just like anything, your body gets stronger, or you learn how to use the right magic.
Yeah, like your
To
skill, you don't maybe not get stronger, but you get more proficient. You get more skilled. And I think I want to say he referenced like he did study, but he's not great. It's like
he's far
he
from
clearly
it.
learned magic. He clearly knows things, but he's
He
not
did,
like he doesn't consider himself, nor is he up there to the status of being a
right.
great wizard. Now I don't know because they didn't do like lightning effects like that in the original Willow.
Mhm.
If they took his Willow right now and put him against Bavmorda, would he even stood a chance? Honestly,
No, no. From what she could do and what he does or did, no, she would have mopped them across the floor.
that's fair.
Because no, because
Bavmorda was a bad one. I give her that.
yeah, and the thing she didn't have to say spells.
Yeah,
She
there was like
just did
once
it.
or twice that she did, but for the most part, she was like just
No, well, no, she's like, you're
gesture.
pigs.
Yeah,
You're pigs. And then like that was the spell itself, not so some Latin word or what have you.
Oh, before I forget, that was the one thing that so they were talking about. He's like, yeah, we turned everyone from pig back to human, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then and then you got everyone, and he goes, yeah. He paused, like he thought about it, but then it dawned on me. I don't know if we mentioned this in the last video. I think he missed one because where did the pig come from when he swapped to Laura? I think there was one person that was left behind.
No, there's no. When do you swap a Laura
in
for the pig?
that's how he tricked the queen.
No, he had a Laura, and he put the pig trick. He did it in
Oh,
the
it was
beginning of the
empty.
film.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking
There
about the
was no
beginning of the
pig.
movie. I was thinking of the
Okay,
beginning of the movie.
I will say though, another good thing though were the monsters.
I wanted more of them.
They were designed very well, especially the big beast with the cage around his head, and the one that looked like from Lord of the Rings,
The
the one
ranger
with
looking one with the whips.
yeah, yes, the one with like no
Yeah.
eyes.
One of my friends texted me. He's like, "This man's a menace, coming in with the whips, throwing stars."
Oh yeah, and the shurikens, yes,
Yes.
yes. I mean, like I say, they did great on certain things, like certain production things, but on the writing and execution, and this freaking pace that they choose to go with,
They
not
did.
good.
I argue that they improved on the trolls because I know that was a big argument that you didn't like. Neither of us liked in the first Willow movie.
Well, also, like I guess they're different sex, not sex, but sex, like SEC.
Oh, they explained that.
Because these are white, the other ones were black in the
Yeah,
original one,
well, they explained that
and
they're smarter and stronger because they take the elixir that was given to them by the crown, and they were
well, no,
taught
I
how to
mean,
use it, how to make it.
well, yeah, they're more evolved. They're
Yeah,
talking, where the trolls in the original one were just like apes,
yeah, pretty much.
But I'll also say, also in the epilogue scene where Graydon wakes up and you see the people. I wasn't able to see everything, but I saw the two-headed troll.
As on it too.
I was like, okay, another callback to the original. Now,
Yeah,
there's probably other callbacks. There's probably other characters. If you see that, if you freeze frame and look, there's probably other characters from other franchises,
true.
like they've done before, like here we go back into Star Wars, where there's ET or that species is in the Senate.
Yeah, because it looked like there was multiple kinds of species all throughout
Right.
there. So yeah, I don't disagree. Like I didn't freeze frame it, but I would be confident that they would probably
right. And there's probably other sites that will break it down and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I did appreciate, like I said, the callbacks to the original, because the original to me it holds a special place for me. Even though it's a little dated, it still holds up overall. Here, it felt like they wanted to bring back this franchise, but they rushed it. They had a good premise, they had a good start in a way of how to get things going.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think the execution of it all was horrible.
I don't think they rushed it. I think they tried to de-age it and try to make it for the youth.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
understand. But the thing is, when you do that,
it feels disconjointed. Like it feels like a mishmash of multiple things that doesn't mesh well.
It also forces the hero down your throat because you have Kit, the female, being the hero. You have this in a lot of stories where it used to be the male hero, now it's the female hero. And nothing wrong with that, but it just feels forced.
And Alora.
And really, I don't really understand why they have the prince be kidnapped and then turned and like trying to get Elora, but maybe because play with her heartstring and whatever, her emotions. I don't know. It's just, to me, it was too long. It was too boring. Yes, you have some nice moments, but at the overall, it was just, I just wasted 8 hours of my life where I could be watching the second season of Bad Batch or Jack Ryan or The Wall. I had more entertainment looking at The Wall than I did with this. No, this is a waste of time for me. I'm sorry. What was your thought on it? Is this a waste of time or worth the watch?
I wouldn't put it at 86. I will be lower than that, but I am higher than the 60, whatever. So I'm gonna put it like it's gonna get like a C plus out of me, like a 75.
Will you watch the other seasons?
Yes, I will. I will say this as official record because I know one person that hated it besides you. I know one person that actually loved it, and they said this is the best show of the year for them.
Well, okay, fair enough. We're still in January,
Oh no,
so
they
fair
were like
enough.
it's better than 2022.
Hell's no.
No, oh yeah,
Hell's
like
it's not better.
he was
It's not
loving
better.
it.
Listen, it's not better than Wednesday.
He
It's
thought it
not.
was.
It's not better than Tales of the Jedi.
I'm not saying I agree it was the best year.
It's not better than Obi-Wan, and I didn't like Obi-Wan. Okay, and well, it is better than Book of Boba Fett.
If you didn't, like I said at the
No,
beginning,
don't say not other, but you. What?
no, for me,
Who?
I gave my rating. It's gonna be
Okay.
there. It was,
Listen, this is what I'll do.
I will watch the sequels.
I'll watch the other seasons if you tell me I should watch. If he's like Angel, you're good. Don't worry about it. Then
Oh
I'm
yeah,
good.
I'll let you know.
I'm not gonna waste my time on the other seasons because I am so let down on multiple levels
Oh yeah,
on this. And to tell you the truth, Elora should have not won this battle or this season. She should have gotten her ass whooped and escaped by the skins of her teeth.
that's because they wanted to make a new big bad for the season volume.
No,
2.
I understand that, but the thing is, she is wet behind the ears. She has no experience. You can. I'm sorry. No matter how the chosen one you are, I mean, even Neo in the Matrix had some training.
She got a little bit of training. You
Not
know,
that much. Not
here's
one
what
day.
I did notice, and I thought this was a nice little touch. Every time she used her power, her hair would change color more and more back
Oh
to
no,
red. I thought
right,
that was a nice
and I
touch.
understand. Well, no, but also don't forget, it was her hair was being dyed and colored. So
Yeah,
also that. So when you're not keeping up, that also you're like people who cover their grays is this going to show. Granted,
true, but
this the
that
time
comes in
frame.
like from there, not like a strip of hair is red.
No, I mean I get it, but I'm just saying similar.
But back to what you were saying, I would
Mhm.
have thought it would have been better instead of her becoming like dance queen extraordinaire for defensive arts of magic at the end. Like let her have like and you probably won't get this reference, but like let her have her Dragon Ball Z roar moment when Graydon, right? Graydon, it gets
Mhm.
what we thought
Oh,
dusted and
hold up before you do that. But his power or the way he was able to use the magic.
yeah,
Please don't tell me I'm the only one that thought of Dark Side with his omega beams.
because the wave flickers.
No, it was going like it went. It
Yeah,
didn't go straight. It went bop 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 bop. It went in different
yeah,
directions
that
to hit the
that's what I
target.
mean by flickering.
Oh, that's well, flicker is like
Oh,
on and
okay, you're
off.
like
All right,
dodged.
but no, that's I thought of the Omega Beam from anyway. So you're saying when he gets
When it gets dusted, if they saved that for closer to the end of the episode, like where it was supposed to be the big client, and then she, instead of being more controlled and doing the dance moves and whatnot, and have a battle between the crone and her, just like have her like explode with magic, because that's what they say. Like it's the passion, the drive and
right.
everything, and she's not controlled, she's not trained, like you say, and that's the way she wins against the queen or pushes the queen back.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it would have been good or cool if like she does that, but since she has no control yet of her power,
Made no sense.
it no, but I'm saying it should have like willowed her, meaning that when Willow uses the power, he gets exhausted. With her, she would have gotten exhausted because she had no control. So she without having anything in reserve, she expelled all her energy, and so that takes out the avatar of the worm, what have you, and but is enough to escape. And
I would have been
now,
great with that too.
right, and then her training really begins.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been better, and then have the second season like more like an Empire Strikes Back, where her as the Luke
Yeah.
of the story
There's been a
starts to
time
train.
lapse. She may be trained behind the camera.
Right, but she was just like fighting like she knows, like she knew how to throw out and then deflect, and I was like, really? And the thing is, she saw her death, so how is she so confident when she has that fear of dying?
Well,
Like,
I could argue that because there's a theory that if you know when you're going to die or how you're going to die, do you lose the fear of dying up until that moment? Because like you're not going to die then. Clearly, she still has the fear, and
yeah,
on
but
those flashbacks, it looks like where Graydon is. I thought it was like
It's
a time
Elora.
skip.
Well, no, he gets pushed back. He doesn't get, in my opinion, he doesn't get destroyed or evaporated. He just gets thrown into that world.
Yeah, he gets teleported.
And right, just like how the Queen did in the first film, but a little more quicker.
Yeah.
So he's there, and the Elora he sees is just a facade. It's the worm or the worm's avatar as Elora for him to help, because he is a sorcerer
and he's been possessed multiple times.
So he's a perfect candidate, more so than the prince was.
I agree.
But again, I have no excitement for the second season. I'm going to wait for you to tell me.
That's fair.
All right, guys. Let us know what you thought about Willow, currently streaming on Disney Plus. Also, if you have a series that you would like us to review, please let us know in the description below. Also, you can email us at talesoftvbros@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adan.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.